Don't engage alone. We do this together.
Yeah!
Yeah!
We got it! We got
New 52 booklet.
it! Somebody clip this one.
Welcome to Justice League Rewatch, the only show that knows that Wonder Bat doesn't work and Maxabat is the superior ship. What's up, Nick?
Oh, you know it's trickster time.
Yes, you could say it's the killing trick.
Oh.
I had to. So we're talking about Flash and Substance, which is the Flash-centered episode, and the episode where Batman uses a gun. I have to emphasize
It's
that.
literally a gun. It is literally a gun.
It shoots a projectile. Even if it's not a lethal projectile, your whole arguments are...
Wait.
Yeah.
Are you saying that Batman used a gun that shot non-lethal bullets?
Like Jason and Gotham Knights. Nick, I wonder if they were armor-piercing non-lethal bullets.
Probably.
That sounds like something that would be in the DCAU. But for all your things that are like, no, we really mean lethal guns. No, you say guns. Stop changing the argument. So this episode also features the Rogues, which I was very much like digging because the Rogues are some of my favorite parts of Flash. Now, Nick, who are the Rogues? Actually, go ahead.
So the Rogues consist of 4 different villains. You have Captain Boomerang, which obviously we all know and probably don't love. We have Mirror Master, the man of mirrors. Captain Cold, which you might be familiar with the CW verse adaptation.
That was a solid version, by the way.
And then you might have the Trickster, which you also might be more familiar with the CW interpretation, which was played by Mark Hamill.
What show was the Trickster on CW? Was he on Arrow?
The Flash.
Okay, I'm wondering because here's the thing. I'm pretty sure they used the Trickster because they couldn't use the Joker.
Funny you should mention that.
Yeah.
So Jared, this episode is an obvious tribute to the 90s Flash TV show with John Wesley Shipp.
Mm-hmm.
The best part is, in the 90s, the Trickster was played by Mark Hamill. And in the CW, the Trickster was again played by Mark Hamill. But there's actually a scene where, like, the Flash goes to an alternate version, and he's arresting the Trickster, and he's dressed exactly like the Joker played by Mark Hamill.
Wow, that's actually really cool. I like that. I should check that out. So,
and what's great about this episode is, Jared, who voices the Trickster in this episode?
Luke Skywalker.
Mark Hamill. So I think it's probably because they already had like Mark Hamill on staff to play the Joker, so it wasn't that hard to convince him.
This episode is the last time he voices a character in the DCAU.
Oh wow!
Yeah, apparently the Joker does not show up again.
Yeah, and then also the Trickster's outfit is very reminiscent of his 90s version.
Yeah. So to be clear, I love this episode. My problem with it, if you're paying attention at the Flash Museum, there's a Kid Flash costume.
Oh, I noticed that.
The problem with this is, so according to Dwayne, because it does address in the trivia, Flash and Kid Flash exists. And I'm like, we know that the Titans exist in the DCAU. It may not be the 03 show, but we know they exist because Batman references them. My problem with the show is that, okay,
it's Bart.
Yeah, probably. But here's the other issue. This episode repeats the Green Lantern issue I have with this, and we'll talk about that when we talk about Superman, where they give like Barry Allen's origin to Wally West.
Yeah.
Which I get why they're doing it. Here's why they're doing it. Because they're taking the most well-known origin for these characters and giving it to, at the time, the most pop culturally relevant version. Because remember, Kyle and Barry were the main Lantern and Flash in this.
Also, I just wanted to note that at the time, Bart was Kid Flash in the Teen Titans comics.
Okay. I wish that they had, like,
that as well.
I wish that they had like addressed that once, like you said. Oh yeah, Bart's hanging out with the Titans at one point, just a throwaway line of dialogue, because otherwise, it kind of falls apart. By the way,
so just to kind of give you a brief history, Bart Allen from the future was Impulse during the Young Justice run, but when Young Justice turned into Teen Titans around 2000-2003, Bart became Kid Flash.
And wasn't he a terrorist when he came back?
I don't know for certain, but I know he was Impulse when it was Young Justice.
He sounds very impulsive. So, but to be clear, the rest of the Flash Museum is fun because they have, like, if you notice, there's a statue that's a reference to the Flash and Superman racing around the world, which we will see in Superman. And by the way, again, I want to reiterate: after Justice League, we're covering Superman the animated series on this show.
See, what I really liked about this episode is it had a lot of heart to it.
Yeah.
Like, I really like the fact that, like, they had Batman and Orion, two of, like, the most hard butt characters. I was gonna swear, but Jared, for you.
You could say ass.
Two of the most hard ass characters in the Justice League. Batman being there is fine, but Orion is kind of like, he's kind of random.
I was about to say. Yeah, go ahead.
They took two of the most serious characters in the Justice League. All right. And I really like how it shows Flash kind of has a different approach to how he fights crime. Like, he really knows people in the city. Like, he knows the people, they know him.
He's like Superman.
Hey, no, even more so than that. Like, if you notice, like, he's like, hey, we're still on for golf next Tuesday.
That's
or whatever.
True. That's true. I like that. That'd be kind of funny, Barry. I wonder if Barry is like Happy Gilmore when he's golfing, or in this case, Wally. I got confused with that.
And I like how he like the way he talks to his villains. Like, he'll throw a punch, but he'd rather like talk to his villains firsthand. Like we saw that.
Here's the deal, buddy. Tell me where those guys went, and I promise to come see you in the hospital. We'll play darts. The soft kind.
Okay. They're gonna ambush you at the Flash Museum.
See? That's all we needed.
Yeah, like we kind of saw in the Christmas episode.
Yeah.
And I really feel like Batman, on some level, got it. He understood it. Like, he understands Flash is the heart of the Justice League. And seeing him, Flash, basically in his element, even if part of him didn't want to admit it, I think he got it.
That's why here's the interesting part about Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. It's still a Batman show. Here's what I mean by that. If you look at the episodes that feature Batman, he is learning a lesson in some degree. Number one, how much he doesn't want to date Wonder Woman. And number two, he learns that there are like different approaches to being a superhero. He learns to open up. Like when Superman died, and then he goes, you showed me that crime fighting does not have to be in the darkness.
I really feel like Orion was the one learning a lesson here.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, I did like how like Flash is like trying to get Batman to show up. And
my mom's gonna be there. Let's see. My uncle's flying in. Be great if one of the original 7 made it. I mean, okay, yeah, it's a Flash museum, but to me, the whole league deserves the honor. All of us. Like I said, no biggie.
What time?
6.
Yeah, this is the thing, because like, and this is kind of the thing that's kind of been consistent throughout Batman's portrayal in the entire DCAU. Batman cares. Like he deep down, like when he bought the dress for Harley or like the little girl and whatnot, he actually does care. Like, Batman is not an unfeeling robot. Like, I know some people like to pretend Batman is like this, like, black and white, my way or the highway. But this version in particular actually does care. He doesn't always show it sometimes. That's the problem.
Yeah, and the funny part is that when he agrees to come, the Flash like,
You're a stand-up guy, Bats. Don't ever let them call you a crazed loner. Well, I got a lot to do.
Yeah, this
And I'm
I
like,
gotta say, this is another reason why this version of Batman is my favorite portrayal, because
Mhm.
I feel like it hits the line perfectly of like cold, calculating Dark Knight, but he's still a human that cares. Because there's
Yeah.
like the version with Ace, you know, in the epilogue episode,
yeah,
you know, like
which
if Batman didn't
we will come to
care,
be on. Yeah,
yes, we'll be covering. By the way, we got a stream that episode.
yeah, we will.
So yeah.
Yeah, and I agree with you. Again, my issues with this show have nothing to do with Batman as the character, because this is one of my favorite portrayals of Batman too. Because you hit the nail on the head. It's like, here's the thing: Kevin Conroy is the animated Ben Affleck in that way. He got the Bruce Wayne and Batman way in there, I think.
I mean, we can disagree on the comparisons to Kevin Conroy, but we agree he is the definitive and animated voice.
Let me put it this way: as far as I'm concerned, the definitive live action Batman is Affleck. Definitive animated will forever be Conroy.
And basically, any hopes of a DCAU revival died with Kevin, because like I know we've heard like these like rumors going around that DC wants to revive the DCAU. I'm sorry, it's not possible without. Yeah, like it's not possible without him.
Because people will bring up, well, some of the actors for X-Men died, but here's the problem with that: the actors who died in X-Men were not like the face of the X-Men '90s show. Conroy was, for lack of a better term, the face of the DCAU. You can't continue it without him.
Yeah, with Marvel actors, like they're kind of interchangeable. Like okay, if you're gonna do like Spider-Man '94. You got to bring back that voice actor because that's kind of iconic.
Yeah.
But like that's for that version. You know, there wasn't a whole universe where like Batman Kevin played Batman for almost 30 years.
Plus, here's the thing: even in X-Men '97, the guy they have to voice Cyclops actually nails the '90s Cyclops. So it's not like they just grabbed someone off the streets that didn't sound anything like '90s Cyclops.
But here's the thing. I dare anyone to name who the original voice actor for Cyclops was.
Even I don't remember who that was. So,
but everyone, like anyone who is a fan of like Batman and in animation, knows who Kevin Conroy is.
Exactly.
Like,
well,
because like not only was he the animation, the movies, but also Arkham.
Yeah, so I was
the definitive Batman video game trilogy. He was the voice of.
There's not a single actor that was so associated with a character in DC as Conroy was with Batman. There's no one else that I think comes close. Reeves is Superman, but there's less of a, because here's the thing with Conroy, there's no debate on like who's the definitive Superman. With the Reeves thing, there's a debate of like Cavill versus Reeves. With this, it's like
I would say okay, you can have your favorites, but when it comes to like iconic portrayals, Reeves is more iconic than Cavill.
But my point is
Cavill to Reeves, but when it comes to like the wider cultural stuff, when you think of Superman, you think of Reeves.
Okay, fair enough.
We can have our debates on the Batman. Like I feel Batman is a little more up for debate. Most people choose Keaton, but I think it's a little more up for the debate with Batman.
Yeah, but I'm saying when people think okay, that's actually a good point there. So another character that shows up in this show,
topic episode, by the way.
Yeah, that probably is. Another interesting character is Linda Park, who, by the way, in the main canon, her name is Linda Park-West. That's Wally's future wife.
Which, by the way, the Flash TV show actually kind of messed with this as well, because like there's a sequence I think in like the first or second season where he actually kind of starts dating Linda for like a few episodes, and like Barry steals Wally's girl.
Yeah, and by the way, it is interesting how Orion comes from Apocalypse, and he's voiced by Hellboy. I kind of wanted to bring that up.
So you're saying that this week we watched 2 episodes we're on both of our series.
Oh yeah, that's true. Wow. So apparently this is Ron Perlman week. So
I'm calling it a thing.
By the way, the Flash does mention Barry, if you pay attention, because Flash references his uncle in the comics, while Barry's his uncle. So they did kind of go with that. And
wasn't the origin of Wally in the comics was he was interviewing Barry in the lab, and like a lightning bolt came by, hit the same types of chemicals, and gave him the powers? Like, wasn't that his original origin?
Yeah, it wasn't like he got the Barry origin. He got like a watered down version of it.
But similar.
And you know what's kind of funny? When Kid Flash shows up in Teen Titans, he's played by Michael Rosenbaum.
Interesting.
So that's gonna be kind of a cool theming thing. And yeah, so all in all, but there's also a Jay Garrick helmet. I hope you noticed that in the Flash Museum. Can be seen in the Flash Museum, seemingly implying he exists in the DCAU, but according to McDuffie, it was never decided on. He went on to explain many other possibilities for the helmet, saying it's not Jay's helmet, it belongs to Hermes. Fair enough.
Also multiverse. It could be multiverse as well.
Yeah. Here's the thing with the Kid Flash costume and like the helmet that's here's the thing. If you put that helmet in a DC Flash show and we've never seen or referenced Hermes in any way, I'm sorry, that's going to be associated
also
with... Yeah.
Also, aren't they kind of ripping you off in a way?
What do you mean? Oh,
like,
yeah, my character. Yeah, exactly.
Who's literally called Hermes and is your speedster? They're ripping you off, bro.
Yeah, exactly. This will be this one will be the first time DC stole my ideas, i.e., Trinity. So this is my one problem with this episode. It seemed more like throwing Easter eggs for Easter eggs' sake and not thinking about how they are contradicted in the universe.
I honestly don't care. Like, I also realize his speed effect was actually differently portrayed. Like, they actually portrayed it a lot close. Like, usually his speed effect is a lot more faster. Like, you know, they really had it match the 90s. Like, this is a 90s Flash trivia episode. Because, like, his speed effect, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like his speed effect is different in the other episodes. In this one, I think they're really trying to match the 90s version.
Could be. By the way, can I say, the question I'm going to leave you guys with, why doesn't the Justice League shut down a super villain bar? Like, they're there. Go arrest them.
Well, if they're not committing any crimes at the moment, what are they going to do?
But they go there after committing crimes. I'm pretty sure Batman could get evidence. But anyway, all in all, I give this episode still a 10 out of 10. It's still fun. It's those minor nitpicks aside, I enjoyed it. Plus, Batman used a gun. I really want to emphasize that because that's going to be the title of this episode. Nick, how do you rate this episode?
I give this a 10 out of 10.
There you go. This is the first one of the rare times Nick graces us with a 10 out of 10 rating.
I'm sorry, but this episode just hit all the notes for me. I like having Mark Hamill play Trickster, paying tribute to the 90s Flash series with John Wesley Shipp, and just all the little kind of things, and also just the emotional beats of it, like how Flash treats his villains differently, and I don't know. Like, Flash doesn't really get much love in this series, and this episode kind of just gave me a 5-course meal. And I was there to devour it.
Mm-hmm. 2 more points of trivia that I'm going to bring up is that did you notice that Flash has the cosmic treadmill in his apartment?
Maybe he wants to go to different Big Belly Burgers across universes.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, only the Big Belly Burger in our 616 offers
616. That's Marvel. Nick's old man brain is acting up again.
Dude, that was deliberate. That was a deliberate joke.
But anyway, my final point is, like, to your point about how he treats the villains differently. I like when he is confronting Trickster. He goes, if you tell me, we'll play darts again. It's like he treats them more like people instead of like punching bags, which again,
Which
that
honestly is kind of a message that I think a lot more people should learn, but who am I to judge?
Possibly someone in a bat suit and someone with a really freaky helmet. Wearing red. But anyway, stay heroic, everyone. We'll see you in the next week. But by the way, so let me tell you guys what the next episode is going to be, so you guys can be prepared and we can all rant. I wonder how close we're getting to the episode where they make a stupid retcon for Jon Stewart that I keep hyping up. Oh boy. Let me see here. Justice League Unlimited.
When are we getting to the episode where Flash and Lex switch bodies? So I can't wait.
That one is later. The next one is Dead Reckoning. So I'm going to read you the description. The ghost of a circus performer convinces Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman to help him retrieve stolen souls of the mystical order of monks. Dead Man shows up in this episode. Boston Brand.
It's a Trinity episode.
Particularly, it's a Superman and Wonder Woman episode. I know what I'm using for the thumbnail. But anyway, stay heroic, everyone. Remember, Lois Lane is Lois Lane, belongs with General Zod. Zois for life.